What was she wearing? Why was she out by that certain time? Why is she not careful about the people that she has around her? Why is he not careful about his friends? Oh, people, please be careful. People, you guys are so funny. Because all these things that happen, the tragedies are never planned. You don't plan tragedies except the person perpetrates. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Life of Epiphany. As you can see, I'm putting on like a serious attire because what I'm about to say would likely trigger some people. But I've been online for the past couple of days and I've seen that a lot of people have opinions to share. They have their opinions to give, which is amazing. So I'm here to share mine as well. If you are seeing my vlog or seeing my face for the first time, give me a chance to win you over. Stick around. If this is something that you relate to, a content that you like, please support me by subscribing, liking, and commenting in the comment section. There is something I have noticed. If you have contrary opinions, please let me know in the comment section. I mean, I do encourage that, but please be kind with your words because kindness over everything. All right, but there's something I've noticed. It's a pattern. It has not happened just once. It's something I've noticed to happen almost every single time there is a crime committed against the female gender. People would often start, finding accusations. People would start blaming the victims, and then all of a sudden they turn into investigators. You're not a detective. Calm down. You are not an investigator. You are not. This is not a scene that you should put yourself in to try to fix. No. When a crime is committed against anyone, it doesn't matter what gender that person is. When a crime is committed against someone, even if you don't understand, even if you cannot relate to the situation, the least you could do is sympathize with that particular situation and then you move on, even if you feel nothing. But oftentimes you go into the comment section expecting people to feel the exact way you feel, which is dread, which is anger, depending on the kind of crime or the situation that is, which is dread, anger, sadness, and you feel very mad. When you go into the comment section, you see people say things like, yeah, but what was she wearing? This is a case of RAPE. What was she wearing? Why was she out by that certain time? Why is she not careful about the people that she has around her? Why is he not careful about his friends? Oh, people, please be careful. People, you guys are so funny. Because all these things that happen, the tragedies are never planned. You don't plan tragedies except the person perpetrating the tragedy themselves. But you, the victim, you can never know when you will be breathing your last. You have absolutely no idea when your time is over on earth. We are not privy to that information. So how careful can a person truly be? How careful can a person truly be to avert or to prevent themselves from becoming victims? Right now, I live in Abuja, and there are so many things happening in Abuja right now. People are being kidnapped. If you decide to take along where you would alight from one bus or one cab to another before you get to your destination is cheaper. People get kidnapped that way. You might think, oh, I'm in a cab and there are women in the cab. I'm in a cab and there are kids in the cab, so I'm protected, I'm safe. There's like a diverse number of persons and gender in the car, so there's no way this would be a cab that is the one chance cab. And unfortunately, the situation changes for you. You become a victim of one chance. You're either raped, you are beaten to either killed, or your family members are solicited so that they can provide ransom, which are sometimes ridiculous amounts of money that even your family do not have. You could decide to take Bolt or Uber or Taxify, whichever one you use, and you could become a victim, but in your mind you're safe. At the back of your mind, oh, I'm doing this. Instead of taking the long method, I'm taking Bolt, I'm paying more money, so I should be safe. But then there are also stories about people that have been kidnapped by these personals as well. So how safe can a person truly be? How? If I've heard so many stories, even when I was in school, as a young lady that was going to church. She was a Catholic, so she goes to the chaplain almost every single morning, and she was raped on her way to church. She was equally killed. I think she was decapitated, which means her head was cut off. How safe can you be? How safe, how careful can you be to guarantee safety? How careful? What is the degree of carefulness that you apply into your life that would assure you safety? How? You have a child, male or female, or whatever gender, and you trust a relative of yours to be responsible for the well-being of this child while you're away. You entrust your child to someone, and they molest your child, causing that child lifelong trauma, mentally and emotionally, even physically. And you entrusted this child to someone you love, someone you trust, someone that you have a strong relationship with, and it happened regardless. So how careful can you possibly be? Is there a degree of carefulness that we have to attain? Is there a school that teaches us how to be that careful? Please let me know. Let me know in the comment section, because every single time that I see on social media that a crime has been perpetrated towards a particular gender, I have to be frank with you. We all know statistically crimes are being committed by men. Women commit crimes as well, but statistically men commit more crimes, especially towards or against the female gender. This is fact. You can Google this. I'm not saying women do not commit crimes. I am a true fan of true crime documentaries, and I can tell you for a fact that there are a lot of female serial killers as well. But statistically, the percentage is higher when it comes to men. Now, there is a story making a round on social media about Damien Collins, a 400 level student of Port Harcourt, and his girlfriend, Justina, 300 biochemistry of same Uniport. These people apparently have been in a relationship for 3 years. According to him, they've been on and off, but they've been in a relationship regardless. So whoever knows Damien would also know that he has a girlfriend, Justina. Now, I don't know what happened between both of them. We don't know. None of us actually know, because he's not said anything. None of us know the story that led up to what happened, but he took her life. And not only did he take away someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's future mother, he also dismembered her body parts. He chopped up her body into multiple pieces so they could fit into a bag that he would easily be able to throw away. I'm a true fan of true crime documentaries. I spend a lot of time watching true crime documentaries because I'm interested in understanding what goes on in the person's mind that makes them commit crimes that are so graphic in nature. Like, what degree of crazy, what degree of madness could possibly consume you that you would not only kill a person, but you would also chop up their parts, and you did not feel remorse, you did not feel disgust? What level of evil could possibly lead the person to do that to another human being? That's the reason why I love true crime. I'm honestly interested in understanding how a human can do that to another person. Psychopaths, sociopaths, if it's all in the mind, if it's something that stemmed from when they were younger, or we don't really have the facilities to know when the person is likely to become a serial killer or likely to become a murderer. There is no way you can actually ascertain. There is absolutely no way. So when I saw this, I was very curious. I was like, okay, wow. People are saying, oh, it's ritual killings. People are saying, no, it's organ harvesting. It doesn't really matter what the purpose is. The truth of the matter is, or what the matter on ground is, he killed someone. He took her life. He denied her a future. He's destroyed everything. He has taken away her destiny. That's the matter on ground. I don't appreciate it when people become investigators all of a sudden. You are not qualified to be a detective. You are not a detective to this situation. So why are you always trying to understand, oh, what happened? What did she possibly do? Now, there are so many comments on social media that are triggering me. And that's the reason why I'm making this vlog. Comments such as, you have to be careful. Just like I just finished talking about. How do you become careful with your loved one? How do you become careful with your partner for 3 years? Honestly, it is very triggering. I don't even know how to express just how triggered I am. Every single time I come across a post about someone who has been murdered ruthlessly by her partner or by his partner, and then people in the comment section, they try to justify, it's either they try to justify what happened or they try to make excuses for it. But what did she do now? Now, when it comes to Justina's case, everyone in the comment section, almost everyone in the comment section, they're saying, oh, well, she dated for money, she's dating a Yahoo guy, blah 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 blah. It's so crazy how people say this, because firstly, it's not always Yahoo. Yahoo is not always the case when it comes to things like this. It could be anger, build up anger. It could be the person is a sociopath. It could be the person has, you know, a longing to kill someone. If you watch true crime documentaries, you would know that every murder that happens, every murder, it doesn't matter what degree of murder, it could be as a result of many things other than human sacrifice, other than a ritual killing, other than Yahoo people trying to, you know, sustain themselves. It could be a variety of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, placed into one box. And that's what everyone is doing. And it also, because of what everyone is saying, not everyone, but you get what I'm saying, right? Because of what people are saying regarding the situation, regarding the boy being a Yahoo boy, so that's the reason why girls are knowingly going into relationship with Yahoo boys. It's weird, because if you want to talk about Yahoo, right, almost every one of us we know 1 or 2 persons that are doing it. We know. Now, you are the sister to a Yahoo boy, you are the brother to a Yahoo boy, you are the friend to a Yahoo boy, you're the mother, you're the father to a Yahoo boy. So these people that are doing these things, it doesn't mean they don't have families. It doesn't mean they don't have loved ones. So if they can have a family, why would they not have a girlfriend? Why would they not have a wife? They would have relationships. Just because they are doing or committing certain crimes does not mean they will not have relationships. It doesn't make sense. There's no rationale when you start to say things like that. So they would definitely have relationships, but it does not mean, it does not justify ending somebody's life. It doesn't. People say, oh, girls only want to date people that have money. Girls only, you know, they're all run scout, blah, blah, blah. There's so many narrative going on the social media. And I'm asking, who wouldn't want to be with someone that is financially capable? Let's be realistic here, please. Who wouldn't want to? Even you as a man, you would like to have friends that are financially capable so that you could also connect your network. Networking is very essential, you know, for financial growth. So if you have a strong relationship with someone that is financially capable, eventually you would be able to have some of their key contacts, and who knows, you could also become successful yourself. So it's natural for someone to want to endear themselves to people that are financially able to take care of them. It's natural. A lot of people are victims of circumstance. In case you don't know it, victim of circumstance is basically when you become a victim due to factors around you, factors that you cannot control, like the environment, chance, time, luck, people. You can only vouch for yourself, you cannot vouch for people. But when we go into relationships, we develop a level of trust that allows us to at least give, you know, at least be able to vouch for the partners that we're with. I'm pretty sure if you had met her and said, oh, Damien did this, Collins did this and did that, she would say, oh no, that's not my boyfriend, that cannot be my Collins, there's no way he would do that. So we are able to vouch for the people that we love because we trust them. If you are in a relationship, you should be open towards trusting your partner. It's natural for you to do so. If you are on edge, for how long? Yeah. If a woman is sleeping around with different men to make fast money and she's being judged, What about the men that are killing these women to make fast money? Why are there excuses for them? Why is there a blame on the society? Why do you not think that society also has something to play when a woman decides to do a particular thing? Why is the society not being blamed? And also the idea of society being blamed for all these things is ridiculous. The society has always been the way it is from time immemorial. I'm going to give an example. When I was younger, because I'm a 90s child, right? When I was younger, my first my introduction to what's crime pertaining to ritual killing and, organ harvesting was from Nigerian movies. Every single 90s child must have experienced, that time when you would go and rent movies and you would watch movies. I used to watch movies with my family then. Like, I think every Sunday or Saturday my dad would give us some money. We go to the rental place and we would rent movies. They are mostly Nigerian movies like Billionaires Club, blah blah blah, and we would watch them together. It would show how crimes are being committed, how fathers can kill their children, how fathers can kill their wives so that they could make fast money. But one thing about Nigerian movies is we are obsessed with moral lesson. I don't think I've ever seen a Nigerian movie where they will show so many crimes and at the end of the day, the person that committed the crime will go scot-free. No. So if you want to blame the society, how can you blame it? I don't think I've ever seen any Nigerian movie, especially from that time, where someone that is being praised as a money ritualist at the end of the movie continues to be that thing. They would lose not just their life, they would also be reprimanded for their actions, and it's usually death. There's no prison time self, it's death. So if I grew up watching these movies and in my mind I'm like, oh my god, people that do these things, how can they do it when they know they're going to die? How can they? So this is the programming that I received, which I believe is the programming everyone else should receive, except there's something wrong with your mentality. So how then do you blame the society? How does the society come into play? There's something, I usually go into YouTube or I go on social media and I try to listen to preachings, I try to listen to, inspirational TED Talks. I really like it. And I watched one, I think from, I don't really remember the preacher's name. If I do, I'll put it down in the description box. And then he said, one thing God does not have any control over is your free will, which is your freedom of choice. If God controlled free will, then we are puppets. Just pull a string and we do what he wants us to do. That's not the truth. We all have free will. We know what's good, we know what's bad. We've been blessed with our wisdom to be able to tell the difference between right from wrong. Now we make the choice to follow what we want to follow. If we want to go the wrong way, fine. If we choose to go the right way, fine. But one thing you have to understand is whatever decision you make in life, you would bear the consequences, and you will likely bear it alone. That's also the reason why when someone kills a person and the family members of the person that has been killed forgives the person that committed the crime, it doesn't mean they will still not go to jail. Or consequences of every action that you carry must come. It doesn't matter if you are forgiven of that crime. You will still face the consequence. It goes hand in hand. So even if you go to church, maybe you go for confessions and you pray to God, whatever crime that you've committed, please, I want you to have it at the back of your mind that you will still face the consequence for that particular crime. Your sins are absolved, but the consequence of the crime that you've committed are not. They are not. If you want to look at this, let's look at it in just like I just said now. You kill someone or you hurt someone, even if it's by mistake, even if it's not premeditated, you will still do your time, because the law that governs this society, that governs this earth, that governs every nation is different. And for whatever crime you commit, there is usually a time, attached to that particular crime. So if the families of the person that you hurt say, okay, no, we forgive you, okay, good for you, but you will still do time, would you not? So if you want to continue to blame society for your actions, for how long? For how long? If Collins is blaming society for his action, well, joke's on him. He's going to prison for a very, very long time, if not forever. if not until the day he dies. I think there should be a very big change in mentality, a big shift, a big, huge shift of mentality. Whenever something goes wrong, do not blame, do not look for a way to victim shame. And this happens so much. Let's create a scenario using rape victims, RAPE. I don't know what's against the guidelines here. So let's just say RAPE, right? Okay, let's not even go too far. There's one trending right now about a doctor that was, having sexual intercourse with the niece from when she was 13 to 17. He would apparently drug his wife so the wife does not hear the scream of this niece, and and also would threaten this girl, do not tell anyone. Now people will say, oh, how can she be 13 and she doesn't tell? I don't think you know what it feels like when someone incites fear in you, especially when that's not your. Even I've listened, I've seen things that even happen to direct relationship between fathers and daughters, and they are told don't say anything. Now most cases these people would keep to themselves if they notice that the spouse of that person is indifferent and carefree and doesn't care. Now if you don't want to go into any trouble, of course you would keep it to yourself until you are mentally and emotionally capable of exposing the truth and taking the backlash. This is the saddest thing ever. And this is also the reason why a lot of RAPE victims do not come out to say what happened to them immediately, because they know there's always going to be a corresponding backlash. Oh, what did you wear? Oh, did you try to do this? Oh, did you try to do that? Let me shock you. One day I was going to town. I was going to Use, and I booked a ride. So I usually sit in the front seat with the boat driver every single time. I just like it. Except I'm going out with my friends, and then we can both sit at the back seat. But I was in the front, and that was where I was. I moved into my compound around 2021, and my landlady just gave birth around that time. She gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. So I was going to the hospital. I was bringing some things to her. She asked me to please bring them, and I was like, of course, I'm a good girl, right? So on my way there, I booked a ride, and because I of course put the location of where I was going was a hospital, he started asking me questions about, oh, who is sick or what happened? And I was like, no one is sick, my landlady just gave birth. I was like, oh, he was pretty excited about that news. She was like, oh, that's very nice. I was like, yeah, right. And then he asked me what gender. I usually refrain from asking people that just delivered of any baby what the gender of the child is. I don't think it's my business, and I don't think people should ask those questions, except you have a very close relationship with that person. But if you do not, it's none of your concern. So he asked me, and I said, well, it's a girl. And then was like, oh no. Immediately his countenance changed. He was like, no, I don't want to have any female children, especially as my first child. I did not even bother to ask why, because I already know where he was driving at, but I never knew that he was I never knew he was about to blow my mind. And then he said, I want my wife. I'm not married yet, but when I'm married, I want my wife to have like 2 boys first before a girl. Maybe the girl will be the last child. That's if I ever want a girl. And then he said, you know, all these first daughters, they like to seduce their fathers. Did you hear that? He said, you know, all these first daughters, they like to seduce their fathers. That was what he said. And I was like, I get triggered easily. So yes, I did. I started talking back at him, and I was like, excuse me? He was like, yes, now that's why you know the say father and daughters are close. Before you know, the daughter will start seducing the man. I was like, a child would seduce you? Please, let's end the conversation, because it's not going to end well. I give him a 1 star, by the way. Horrible man. But a lot of people think this way. A lot. I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and she expressed to me that her aunt has left her marriage. And I was like, what happened? And she said the aunt discovered that the husband was having relations with their 3-year-old daughter. Good Lord. I don't even know why she did not report this to the police, because God knows the way I will run. That's if I don't even hurt you physically before I even involve the authorities. I would oh my gosh. Anyway, she called her sister, her elder sister. You know how you want to tell your family, this is the reason why I'm leaving my marriage? Do you know what this sister said? My friend would most likely see this because we had a conversation. The good thing is they are not likely to know who I'm talking about. She said, well, you know, that's what happens with fathers and first daughters. And I'm like, is there something happening with fathers and the first daughters that I have no idea about until now? What's going on with the world? And why are these stupid actions being justified? Why? How? Oh, a lot of people need deliverance, but deliverance is not enough. A lot of people need to be executed. Not only are you destroying the lives of, destroying your relationship with your partner when you engage in such diabolical acts or actions, you are also destroying the life of that poor child. Mentally, physically, emotionally. That child grows up with a lot of emotional baggage and becomes torture to anyone that tries to have any sort of relationship with them. And then when anything happens in the future and she expects, oh, now that I'm grown, maybe people would listen to my story. No. What does she get instead? What does he get instead? What do they get instead? Backlash. Excuses are always made for the perpetrators of crime. Excuses upon excuses upon excuses. Until when? Is the society? Oh, is the devil. Nigerians will love this one so much. Is the devil. Really? Is it really the devil? I don't even know what to say anymore. I just want to say that for every victim out there, if you've been a victim of any form of crime, it doesn't matter what gender you are, and you've been afraid to speak up, but you know it's eating you and killing you inside, I think you should talk to a professional. And you should choose the sort of professional you want. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want a female, I don't want a male. That's fine. You make your choices. But speak to someone. And I also want you to know that if you go on social media and you see people making excuses for the crimes that you know have been committed towards you, understand that those are just the stupid ones. They don't have sense. But it doesn't mean the rest of us don't. So we do have, we would always stand by you, always. Whenever I see any crime, I immediately take sides with the victim until proven wrong. Because sometimes people say, oh, yeah, people make false allegations. Yes, that's sadly. But whenever a crime is presented to you, you should automatically, out of the conscience of your heart, side with the victim until it's proven otherwise. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I don't know what's wrong with what's going on with the world. I don't know where our conscience, I don't know what has happened to our conscience. I don't know. But if you don't have one, reach deep down inside of you. Try to manifest one, I beg, please. The world is crazy as it is. Do not make it worse. If you don't have empathy, if you don't care what happens to your family, if you don't care, if you can never see yourself in the person's shoes, so you would never understand the situation, you would never understand the pain they're going through, the least you could do is sympathize. Say, oh, that's sad. Hey, yeah, child, sorry, and move on. And move on. You're not a detective. Move on, please, move on. Move on. If you don't even have any sympathy to give, move on. Don't come and start questioning someone's pain. Don't blame anybody. Don't blame anything. Do not. For how long are you going to continue doing this? I also want to add that this is not a gender war. Everything should not be about gender, especially when it's a crime. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Please let me know how you feel. I'm already so exhausted because I tried so hard to control the way I really feel so I could come out make sense with what I'm saying. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Please, if you like this, if you enjoy this, like my video. Please like and also subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you so much and have a great week.